Hello and welcome to FairButFirm.com. Well, it's Sunday morning here in Las Vegas, Nevada. A little cold. They say it's hot in the desert. Well, you know what? This is like being back in the East Coast, back at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn last night. That's what it feels like right here, right now. Freezing. But Barclays Center last night, it was a lot of heat going on. And you had Paulie Malignaggi. Paulie Malignaggi, let me tell you about Paulie. Not only is he a good talker, the guy can talk up a storm. He'll be great for Showtime. He does an excellent work with Showtime. But he didn't talk that much last night. He did his fist do the talking for him last night. And he did very well against Zab Judah. Zab Judah, I think, has seen his better days. You know, he's 36 years of age, but Zab didn't have the reflexes and the speed. I think his mind was there to execute, but didn't. That was what. How come he's not getting off? He was waiting too long. And you know, Paulie Malignaggi had so much speed. He's not the hardest punching guy in the world, but he's learned a couple of new tricks during the later part of his career, and that is punching to the body. He throws a good jab to the head, boom, and right hand to the body. Not many fighters do that. He executed that pretty well last night. The speed was really good. You know, it was a clash of heads in one of the later rounds there. There's a little blood coming out, and I think that the blood just made Paulie a little bit more angrier, wanted to fight. I mean, I saw him raise the bar last night, and I said before the fight, my prediction was either one of these fighters loses the fight, got to find himself another career, something else to do. And Paulie Malignaggi looked like he's going to be in there for another big fight. It was promised that if he won the fight last night against Zab Judah, he would get a bigger fight. So let's see who's in line for him. But he very well deserved the win and deserves to have a nice big paycheck in the near future. So good luck for Paulie Malignaggi. Two Brooklynites got together. It was a battle of who's the best of the two Brooklynites. And Paulie Malignaggi came up on top. And they were showing photos of them when they were back in the younger years of the Golden Glove days and whatnot. Paulie wasn't even fighting pro when Zab Judah became champion. They were buddies, and there was a little heat at the end of the final round, but you know, they calmed down real quick. You know, that comes with the turf. You're all excited, and they embraced, and they were very gentlemanlike towards each other at the end when the decision was rendered. And it was obviously that Paulie Malignaggi won an easy, unanimous decision. Now, on the other card of that, you had Sean Porter, who won a unanimous decision over Devon Alexander. Sean Porter, short, maybe about 5'7", stocky, good puncher, and was the aggressor, and showed that he had what it takes to beat Devon Alexander. He took the title from Alexander. Alexander just didn't have it, and I think this guy Porter is going to be somebody to reckon with in the near future. And fighters in that division are going to have their hands full because Devon Alexander tried everything he could, but Sean Porter really showed that it takes what it took to be a world champion, and he wanted that title so bad. He was hungry, wanted it that bad, and got it, rightfully so. Another exciting fight, Adrien Lara against Austin Trout. Austin Trout now has 2 consecutive losses. One was to Canelo Alvarez early part of last year, and then last night Austin Trout tried everything, but they were 2 skillful fighters. Lara, another Cuban defector, showed a lot of skills, real smart. You know, they talk about these great amateur fighters. Well, some of these great amateur fighters turn out to be great professional fighters. These guys have a couple of hundred amateur fights, and that's why I tell, you know, fighters, young kids coming up, you got to do your time in the amateurs. You know, don't try to rush with 20, 30 fights in the amateur and then go pro. Adrien Lara has a couple of hundred amateur fights prior to turning pro, and he shows all the skills that any great professional fighter has. And we'll talk about Rigondeaux, but same thing with him. But let's finish up with Lara and Trout. Lara showed that he is a fighter to reckon with. He has all the moves. He has good punching power, good southpaw. So showed that he's somebody to reckon with there. And these guys in the you got Pascal, you got Butte, and them guys, they're all going to be in the mix here with Lara. And Lara, again, like I said, very skillful, always thinking, has a good plan of action, and to execute when he has to, doesn't waste any punches, throws pretty good straight punches, which is what I like. Those over right hand punches, left hooks, and wild punches, you're open. Lara, in a good defense and good punching power, straight, good lateral movement, hard to hit, and maybe it's not the kind of fighter that the fans like to see. Fighters like to see fighters like James Kirkland and Molina Lestat, which we'll go into in a few minutes. You know, Gotti and Mickey Ward. People love those kind of, they're great fights, but you know, you're taking a lot of punishment. And the name of the game is hit and don't get hit. And but the fans, again, are not too much. That's why Floyd Mayweather's another one. He's a great fighter. I mean, he's the top of his game, but he's not going to go out there and get his brains banged around unnecessarily. So Lara, that's what he did last night. He's that kind of a fighter, smart. Boom, he gets to win, and that's fine. And he didn't get hit that much. So another good win for Lara. I can see him going up the ranks, fighting bigger guys and bigger paydays. Sakio Bika, he had a split draw with Anthony Durrell. Anthony Durrell could have pulled his fight out. He could have. I mean, Bika got dropped. Bika got a point taken away from him for low blow. I mean, there was a lot of things that went on in that fight. That Durrell, now at the end, started, you know, before the final bell, he was celebrating, running around the ring with his hands up in the air. You know, in boxing, you don't leave the decision to the judges because, you know, the judges take nothing from it. They probably had it the right way, you know. But Bika was at the verge of losing that fight. But Anthony Durrell, again, celebrating, running around the ring. You don't do that. You fight to the end. Fight every second of those rounds because you got to show that you really want that title. You know, don't get over anxious. And I can see the disappointment in Anthony Durrell's face last night. He probably said to himself, you know, what the hell? I know he was upset with the score of the judges. He thought he had to win. He thought he had it in his pocket. But man, you know what? Don't start celebrating before the victories, okay? And so what happened? He lost on a split draw, so Bika retained his title. Simple as that. Maybe Anthony Durrell will learn a lesson, and next time will come out and be more serious about the way you handle yourself in every second of every round. But anyway, Anthony Durrell did okay, but not enough. So we'll see what happens next time. Guillermo Regendal, another outstanding Cuban defector. Man's got talent. That man's got talent. And Max Kellerman says that's his favorite fighter. He loves Guillermo Regendal. Guillermo is a very talented boxer, again, like Lara, a little bit more higher as far as skills are concerned. But he can box, and he took Donito Donaire to school earlier this year. You know, won a good decision over him, but last year won a good unanimous decision over Donito Donaire, and that's just what he did last night when he fought Joseph Abeco. Joseph Abeco, great fighter, whatnot, but again, these fighters are great up until they meet somebody with the caliber of Regendal. Regendal is a smart, well-educated boxer. Again, maybe like 400 amateur fights in Cuba before he defected to the United States. And you know what? Great amateur, great professional. He has only 13 professional fights under his belt. But look what he's doing to these veterans out there. He's taking all of them to school. He hasn't even lost a round in his professional, maybe lost one round as a professional. The guy's got some skills. He can punch. And the fighters, they're afraid to come in because like Joseph Abeco was a fighter, nobody was aggressor, but when you start feeling the power punches of a fighter like Regendal, you hold back. So what happens? When you hold back, you don't throw punches. And that's what happened last night. Joseph Abega wasn't throwing any punches. That it was a unanimous, it was a shutout. Every round went to Rigondeaux. And you know what? That sounds pretty good. Every round went to Rigondeaux. Anyway, Rigondeaux is going to be around for a while. He's up in age. He's 31 years of age, but he's untouchable. You can't touch him. And a fighter that doesn't get hit that much lasts a lot longer in their professional careers, like Floyd Mayweather, like Bernard Hopkins, you know, like George Foreman. Them guys, they're up in age, and they're still around when they were, you know, at their late ages because they didn't take that much punishment. So best believe that Rigondeaux is going to be around for a good number of years. He's only 31 years young, and he's going to give a lot of fighters a lot of trouble. These guys try to get close to him. They can't. He just boxes their ears off, and you know, that's the way boxing is. So you got some good, outstanding fighters out there that are coming up and showing the world what boxing is all about. And I always say the name of the game is hit and don't get hit. And talking about getting hit and don't get hit, next week in Texas, you have Adrien Broner against a great fighter who is up and coming. He's been there for a couple of years, but he still says he's gonna make it to the championship level again. He wants to be champion. He got a taste of being champion for a while. And we're talking about Marcos Maidana. Marcos Maidana from Argentina, good fighter, good puncher. I mean, he's got wins over some top-notch contenders out there like Amir Khan. He's given some of these fighters. He fought Zab Judah, and he lost to Zab Judah, but he gave Zab Judah a run for his money, and had Zab Judah some trouble during the fight. Marcos Maidana is a good puncher. He's a good, skillful boxer. A little bit on the rough side, but you know what? He's not wild. He's thinking, but what he has the best is the punching power with either hand. He can knock you out. So Adrien Broner, who's undefeated, another young and up and coming. He's like another Floyd Mayweather to some extent. A little cocky on the cocky side. I told him one day, Adrien, you're a little on the cocky side. What's all this? He said, no, I'm not cocky, Mr. Cortez. I'm just a young guy coming. I'm having a lot of fun. He said, Joe, can you do me a favor? I said, what's that? He said, can you come out of retirement and referee just one of my fights, just one, and then you can retire again? I said, Adrien, I don't think I can do that. But Adrien Broner, we wish you best of luck next week. He's going to be up against one of his toughest opponents. Marcos Maidana is going to try to bump him off. And you know what? Marcos Maidana comes in with a lot of experience, and he has a chance. He has a chance. Don't think that he's going to lose to Adrien Broner. Adrien Broner can punch, he can box, and he got great defense. But Marcos Maidana can be a very dangerous fighter, and we'll see what happens next Saturday. Now, the fight, James Kirkland, he fought this kid Molina last night, and James Kirkland is a fighter that is a good knockout artist. He had like 37 fights, and I believe 32 of them were by knockouts. But he fought a fight 2 years ago, which I refereed against a Japanese fighter. Forgive me, I might not remember his name offhand. I can say Heinli Hunyi, I think, but I'm not sure. It's some name out there that I can't pronounce offhand. But he knocked out James Kirkland in the first round. Kirkland went down 3 times. I had to stop it. Last night, he was unbeatable. In the first round, it looked like Molina was going to put him away. But right away, they had a plan of action. He went to his plan B right off the back. James Kirkland came back on strong, second round, third round, and then what? Molina started taking a pounding. The referee, Steve Smoker, called in the doctor on 2 occasions, and I could see there was conversation with the referee and the doctor. They don't want fighters to take unnecessary punishment. We don't want any more black guys in boxing with fighters that are being taken out on the stretcher. Some of them, just don't make it. We don't want to see that in boxing. So Steve Smoker tried to do the right thing last night by stopping the fight. A little punch too soon, then a punch too late. But you know what happened, guys? That punch, that we say, the last punch, Steve Smoker tried to get in between him, and Kirkland just threw it the last devastating left foot, and actually had Molina on a concussive. He was at a concussive episode. He was out on his feet, and you can see the way he just dropped, and Steve had to hold him up. Which I hope that he comes out okay after that fight last night. He took, in one round, he took like 61 hard, devastating blows to the head, then to the body. It was a sad sight to see in the last rounds there. And I tell referees, you know, when you break a fight, try to break these fighters, you know, try not to get in between him. I would say just push the fighter off. He loses balance, and you get him off a little bit better that way. Steve Smoker did a great job last night, but I like to see referees work more on stopping a fight. There's ways of stopping these guys from throwing that last blow. And Steve, I take my hat off to him for what he did last night. He tried the best to stop it correctly, but James Kirkland, with the heat of the action, you know, just let go of that one last punch. And Molina, he's young. But the pounding he took last night, I don't know if he wants to think about ever coming back into boxing. James Kirkland came back, 29 years of age. He's back with his trainer, Ann Wolfe. And Ann Wolfe, you know, brought him back to where the James Kirkland of the old, aggressive, had thinking, and had a good plan of action. And I've never seen a fighter who respects his trainer as much as James Kirkland does with Ann Wolfe. Ann Wolfe, unbelievable. You get a female who's probably one of the best trainers out there in boxing, because she knows her business and has regenerated the punching power and the thinking skills of James Kirkland. He's back again on top of his game. I mean, he knocked out Angulo. He knocked out a couple other good fighters out there. So James Kirkland, good luck. And guys, talk to you next week. Take care.